Hello, I'm Lara Kulcherson and this is Newsfeed. Hamas says it has been assured that the war in Gaza is completely over. As terms of the deal, Israeli hostages and some 2,000 Palestinian prisoners will be freed. Yet, this moment wasn't built in negotiation rooms alone. It has been powered by people, millions across the globe who refuse to stay silent. People who fill streets, stages and screens, demanding the end of the genocide. We start in the UK, where Palestine Action, a non-violent anti-genocide group, has officially been confirmed a terrorist organization. The group's activists have led some of the most powerful protests against the war. At least 2,000 supporters have been arrested. But despite all, they say they won't back down.
You can't arrest an old woman! You cannot arrest an old woman like this! Let her go! Let her go! Let her go! Let her go!
What's this all about? Well, back in July, the government, the Home Office, decided to prescribe as a terrorist group a direct action group called Palestine Action that had been throwing paints on airplanes, causing a lot of criminal damage to entities which were supporting Israel's war mission. So they were taking direct action against what they saw as entities helping the genocide in Gaza. The prescription of them as a terrorist group, to many people, sounded like a completely bizarre and authoritarian overreach because no one had been killed. There were no threats to kill people as far as anyone was aware. It was criminal damage to property, and there's laws that cover that.
In the first year of Israel's war, pro-Palestinian protests erupted across US campuses. Encampments and clashes with police made global headlines. It was the biggest student movement since the Vietnam War. Trump administration hit back with arrests, deportations, and new rules to screen international students to social media before granting visas. Some have since been detained simply for showing support for Palestine online.
After being held in detention for 6 weeks, a federal judge in Vermont has finally ordered the release of Rumaisa Ostork, who was taken by ICE due to writing an article at Tufts University that spoke for Gaza and against Israel.
The U.S. State Department found no evidence linking her to If you, as a college student, can get picked up off the street by 6 plainclothes ICE agents and thrown in a federal detainment center and have your visa revoked while they actively admit that they have no evidence against you, then they will do that to anyone they disagree with.
US support for Israel goes far beyond politics or defense. Some of America's biggest tech giants are providing the tools and the cover for genocide, and they're getting paid for it. The war has killed more than 67,000 people, mostly women and children. And when big tech workers dare to speak out, they're shown the door.
You are killing people in Palestine! Shame on you! No tech for genocide! No tech for genocide! Google and AI profit off of killing innocent lives! Shame on you! We are here at Google, this Google booth, telling us about responsible AI. Responsible AI is not coming up with the technology to bomb and obliterate Palestinians.
They don't hold you here, you gotta go.
Google powers genocide. Stop Project Mimic now.
Google powers genocide.
Meanwhile, musicians spoke out on stage. At this year's Glastonbury Festival in the UK, some, like the punk rap duo Bob Dylan, led pro-Palestine chants.
Free, free! Free, free! Free, free!
Alright, but have you heard this one though? Death, death to the IDF! 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 Hell yeah, from the river to the sea, Palestine must be, will be, inshallah, it will be free.
After that, police opened an inquiry into on-stage chants at Glastonbury, including Bob Dylan's Death to the IDF, and briefly reviewed the set of Irish rap trio Kneecap over similar pro-Palestine remarks. Kneecap have been among the most outspoken critics of the war. Their member, Mohara, was even charged under the UK's Terrorism Act for allegedly displaying a Hezbollah flag at a concert last year, but the case was thrown out by a judge last month. Kneecap and Bob Dylan are not alone. More than 400 artists have joined a campaign called No Music for Genocide, urging musicians worldwide to pull their songs from streaming platforms in Israel. The initiative calls on major labels like Sony, Warner, and Universal to geo-block their catalogs on platforms.
In a statement, No Music for Genocide said, "This tangible act is just one step toward honoring Palestinian demands to isolate and delegitimize Israel as it kills without consequence on the world stage. The successful cultural boycotts against apartheid South Africa prove that our creative work grants us agency and power."
And thousands of actors, entertainers, and producers have signed a pledge to boycott Israeli film institutions they say are implicated in the genocide. The campaign, Film Workers for Palestine, published an open letter on September 8th, vowing not to appear in films or work with Israeli festivals, broadcasters, or production companies. While diplomacy in the highest corridors of power failed to stop Israel, ordinary people confronted those they saw as supporters and the enablers of the genocide.
You went to Gaza and you fought children? You killed children in Gaza? You went to Gaza? Yeah? As a soldier?
As a soldier. Listen, I've been in Gaza and my brother is right there now.
Are you proud of what you did?
I'm proud of serving my country.
Serving your country? What did you serve? Who did you serve?
My country.
Do you think this makes your country safer?
Absolutely, yeah.
You think killing other people and radicalizing other people by killing them makes your people safer?
What happened in the 7th of October, that, like 15,000...
What about the over 70 years before October 7th, where your people have oppressed my people?
You can go ahead. I don't want your money, please.
No problem, we will not pay. No problem, if you don't want my money.
Zionists that are not welcome here. Zionists is not welcome.
Zionists go to our Jewish land.
Invitado, gracias. Fuera de aquí. Matas Palestina, vais a comer en Gaza. Matan gente, vienen a hacer vacaciones. Fuera de aquí. ¿Qué hace tu zapato? ¡Viva no! ¡Viva Palestina!
As Israel's man-made famine worsened in Gaza, hundreds of activists from around the world set sail for the enclave, carrying food, water, and medical supplies. But their mission never made it to shore. Israeli forces intercepted the flotillas in international waters, detaining dozens of activists. Activists from Global Summit Flotilla say they were tortured and humiliated in custody, but their courage did help pull the world's focus onto Gaza and to Israel's relentless blockade.
And we are now many who are safe and released from imprisonment and absurd mistreatment. But most importantly, we are not the story. Thousands of Palestinians are currently being held in Israeli dungeons without a trial, hundreds of which are children. Millions are living trapped under an illegal siege in an apartheid state and occupation, who are being systematically starved and bombed to pieces. And the whole world knows that this did not start on October the 7th, 2023. And these Israeli war crimes have happened with impunity and with help and legitimizations from our governments, institutions, and media. And this is the story here that people should be focusing on. Do not let me and other volunteers on the flotilla be a distraction. And the Global Summit Flotilla is about solidarity with Palestinians. And what Israel did was mainly not to illegally abduct us in international waters and abuse us in prison, but it was that it stopped a humanitarian mission and violating international law by preventing humanitarian aid from entering Gaza.
As with every stage of Israel's brutal campaign, its propaganda machine was nimble, flooding the narrative with misinformation.
The Zionist lady recently tried to expose the Gaza Freedom Flotilla by claiming that the boats didn't actually have any aid on them.
Hi everyone, it is Lizzie Savetsky. I'm reporting to you live from Greta's flotilla, where 44 boats were intercepted yesterday, allegedly bringing aid to Gaza. Let's go inside, I'll give you a tour. Margarita machine and some empty bottles.
Yeah, hold on, lady. Let's take a closer look at those empty bottles. The labels on these products are written in Hebrew, which means they come from Israel. So you're telling me that Greta Thunberg brought Israeli products from Sweden? Or did you just plant them here so you could push your narrative. $7,000 has been deposited in your account. She also claims that there was paraphernalia and needles on the boat, but I guess they were too lazy to actually plant any because she never shows it. I'm just surprised that this is a real person because she looks like AI, and usually when you see a female Zionist who looks AI, it's just some Indian guy running a fake account.
Sustained protests around the world pushed Israel's closest allies to recognize Palestinian statehood in September. Just a month earlier, the International Association of Genocide Scholars declared that Israel's assault on Gaza is genocide. Now, as Hamas and Israel move into the first phase of a peace plan, there's concern that Gaza could soon be governed by outsiders.
Trump's plan for peace is a plan for Palestinian surrender and capitulation. It demands that Palestinians fall under the tutelage of foreign powers, like we did 100 years ago, when the British Mandate of Palestine gave our homeland to the Jewish people. It makes our right to self-determination conditional. And it's not. It's a fundamental right. See, plans like this are not new. It's Oslo Accords 2.0. Palestinians are asked to make historic concessions, like give up armed resistance, or we're asked to prove ourselves worthy of freedom and dignity by meeting certain metrics. And who gets to decide that? Our colonizer.
Then Israel will finish the job by itself.
Israel's end of the bargain, on the other hand, is never straightforward. It's the product of future talks and negotiations, which they drag out purposefully and use as political theater while they colonize more and more land and entrench the reality of apartheid. This has literally been the case for the last 30 years. History repeats itself, and once again, the golden cage is being repackaged as peace. We know better because we know our history. Don't fall for it.
With foreign media still barred from Gaza, Palestinian journalists are the world's only window into the enclave. More than 250 reporters have been killed since October 7. Among them, civilians who try to tell the story too, like Yakin Hamad, Gaza's youngest influencer. She was just 11 years old when she was killed in May.
At age 11, this little girl was providing humanitarian updates, giving survival tips, and offering support to other children affected by the war.
And that's our show. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.